Are you ready?
Hello, people. This is Mark and Lara from Kharischangeworks. Guys, I hope you are well. I want to talk about something that is used in the NARC world quite a lot, albeit that this is a term that has been coined many, many years ago, and so few people know about it. So me and Lara are going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. We're both going to have some input in it. And it's a bit of a tongue twister if you can't pronounce these words a little bit correctly. It's called cognitive dissonance. Seems a bit confusing. It seems like a word that means a lot of things. Well, we can work out this cognitive and dissonance, like as in a disagree. There's a anti, there's an against to, against of, two opposing forces that are battling it out. That's basically cognitive dissonance. But the cognitive bit is obviously about your cognition, psychology, reasoning, your thinking. So, what is this thing called cognitive dissonance? Laura, have you got any ideas?
Okay. It's when you have a moral belief within yourself or a belief system, and then other people come and try and convince you very cleverly and deceptively that you are wrong. And they use people around you to agree with them. And that causes a total disruption in your belief system. And you try and compromise to let it make sense in your own head.
Yes. Spot on. It is something that you know to be true, either experientially or educationally. You know this to be true. It's a fact. And when this cognitive dissonance process is at play, coming your way, it is now taking a solid and it's bringing new information to the old, causing some friction in your mind. It's causing stress because now all of a sudden you're looking at something that you know, and you now have to try and balance it out with something that you might not even be sure of. And what happens is the mind goes into like a seesaw, tossing and turning as to which way to turn. Cognitive dissonance. Am I now right in thinking what I know is right? Is this true? Is this information that I'm getting here, is it better? Is it more accurate? Is it more stable? Is it more effective? But I know this works. I'm not sure. Could this work? I know this works. And the seesaw effect is what's taking place. Another word for it is, as I'm thinking about it now, is psychological ambivalence, where you don't know which to choose. Because one is factual, but the other one is potentially plausible. So this ambivalent attitude between, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I'm confused up here. But here you might know that your way of doing things is better. Cognitive dissonance. Now, Lara, how does this take place while I have a sip of my coffee?
Okay, a lot of the times when you're in a toxic relationship, you'll say something is white. Say, for example, this is a stupid example, or the sky is blue. And the person in the relationship will go, no, you're wrong. The sky's red. And you'll start arguing. You go, no, but it's blue. Look, it's blue. Scientifically, it's blue. And you'll look, show everything. And they'll go, no. And they'll pull up every reason under the sun while their reason is correct. And then so much so that you start doubting yourself.
Yes.
And that's what they do.
And what happens then also, I don't know if you've recognized this, but sometimes they employ friends,
Correct,
family members, to convince you. And what you, in this case, the sky is blue. They might not say that going from blue to red, for some, that might be too big a jump. So they might say, it's not blue, it's more turquoise.
correct.
And then you go, yeah, it does look a bit turquoisey sometimes. And at night, it might be even purple. And at other times, it might be even orange. So now your knowledge that the sky is blue has been bombarded with this new information, because now you're ambivalent. And when you get a little friend that says, actually, because you think it's blue, it might not necessarily be blue, but it's only your interpretation, which is open for interpretation. But you might be colorblind. So your blue might actually be red, but you don't know about it.
Correct.
So here's a thought, Lara, just here's a thought. It nearly sounds like gaslighting to me.
Very similar. Totally agree.
Yeah. So, folks.
Explain gaslighting.
Gaslighting, right. Gaslighting. Me personally, Mark, I've got two approaches, two ways of thinking about gaslighting. Now, if you want to hear my definition and my understanding, it's in the NARC series, but for the purpose of this video, gaslighting from the psychological world is the process of self-doubt, self-questioning, where something has been said for you to go, have I really said that? Did I really do that? I'm sure I did. I'm not so sure now. Where in reality, let's say you did do something, and the gaslighter, which more often than not will be the narc, will come and, by subtle tone of voice, nuance changes, cause you to go, what did you? I can't remember seeing you do this. Yeah, but I did. But when? And now all of a sudden you go, I'm sure I did, but I'm not so sure now. And that's a very basic, simple, very shallow, superficial example of how gaslighting might work, where you create doubt in your mind when you pay attention to that, what the gaslighter is challenging you with. Your belief in your knowledge is being challenged. And if you take that challenge on board, you have been gaslit. Now, that's the one point. My point, as far as my second opinion is concerned, if this is point A, your gaslighter will have all your focus and attention here on point A. And whilst you are distracted, focusing on point A, they might start doing something here at point B. That is under the radar, because they keep on feeding you information or misinformation to keep you focused here while they work on point B. And then point C, D, E, F, G, H, and so on. But all your attention is at point A. And then once they've laid all the traps, got people in place, the triangulation folk, the flying monkeys, and so on, and they've got everything like a chess game, they've maneuvered things in place, they then make you aware of what's happening at point B. Because now they're focusing you somewhere else. And whilst you're at point A, and now all of a sudden you're looking at point B, to my mind, because this is what happened to me, it's like, how the hell did I miss that? Why didn't I see that? Where did that come from? And to my mind, that is the second way that narcs will gaslight you. Not necessarily challenging you, but by distracting you. And then cause you to go, oh man, I can't understand why I never saw that. And then you start questioning yourself. And to my mind, like I said, that's number 2 in how narcs gaslight. And when it comes down to cognitive dissonance, this is a very similar tactic that is being used, gaslighting and the throwing in of potential doubtful information to make you, the victim, go, I can't pick. I don't know what to do. Because I never saw that coming. Very skillful, like we were saying yesterday or in our previous video, the differences between a toxic person and a corrosive person, which Kay suggested is they might be intelligent, but not necessarily so. And Lara made the point to say, actually, they are incredibly intelligent. Because here's the thing, folks. In order to be able to distract, number 2, on gaslighting, my definition, my understanding, and my experience, they need to know exactly what will keep your attention at point A. In order to then know what to do at point B for you to go, what the heck? Where did that come from? They have to be very articulate in how they gather that information.
Yes.
They have to be. Now, as far as this dissonance is concerned, my understanding, and Lara, I think you'll have similar ideas, is in the formative years of the relationship where the narc is gathering information, it's like they're laying a foundation. Whilst they're being nice and friendly and kind of, there's unity, there's companionship and all this kind of stuff, is they create this facade of niceness. But in the background, they're paying attention to what you think, what you believe, where your morals, your values, your ethics, how you react, how you don't react. They pick all of this up. And it's as if they've got like a filing cabinet that says, I'm going to use this against this so-and-so at some point. I'm just going to wait for them to say something that's going to upset me, and then all this poison is going to come out.
Yes.
And they don't let you know this little filing cabinet because it's hidden under dust and other paperwork, and you can't see it. It might be behind another cupboard or something, it might be behind another door or something. But in the narc's world, that door is always open.
Yes.
So
I think what's also
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, finish. I was going to say, with regards to them being so intelligent and with the cabinet, they are very deceptive, and they always have a plan B. They always have a hidden agenda.
Yes.
And that's why, like we said yesterday or the day before, you're always on your toes eventually, because you got to look at everything from 10 different directions to make sure you've got yourself covered, because you don't know what the heck's going to come out of their mouths next.
Correct.
Or what are accusations or whatever's going to come out of their mouths, because you have no idea.
Correct. So, folks, what Lara just said there is absolutely vitally important. So, whilst they are being nice and friendly, and they go, everything's working as a normal relationship should, they're gathering all this information, they're picking it out. I'll have that. It's like shopping for reactions, shopping for emotions. It's like going to eBay or Amazon or the local supermarket, and they're very picky. That process, my friend, might take 20, 30 years. Make no mistake, the narc is not in any rush. The clock stands still in the narc's life as far as this process is concerned. They will take as long as is necessary till they've got all these things, like the chess game, in position. And then comes a comment, comes a behavior. What about this? What about this? What about this? Have you? Really? I can't remember you saying anything like this. Are you sure? And all of a sudden, that what you know is now being nuanced in a very articulate way. Really? Cognitive dissonance. And you're scratching your head. Man, my hairline was here 15 years ago. One of these days, I'm going to be a Kojak. For those who are old enough to remember Kojak. It's been up in like this. What the heck where did that come from? For many years, I was like, where the heck is this? My friend, it's a clever tactic of the narc. Your corrosive person. It's very clever. The minute you spot it, you will spot it in everybody.
Correct.
Finding it out is such hard work. Like Lara says, they are very clever. They can camouflage things. It's behind that door. And the narc will never let you know where that door is to that room, or where the room is, where the door is, where the key is. They will always point you in another direction.
Correct.
Because as soon as you know where that door is, and you know where that filing cabinet is, and you can see the information that they've got on you, and then you can start picking it out, and you can deal with them, and then they expose. Just like the narc movement, shall I call it, has been exposed during this lockdown phase where the planet is at this particular point in time. But be aware, cognitive dissonance is incredibly effective.
Yes.
It has caused many people a lot of heartache. Pair of us have survived it. So don't be fooled when you start feeling that you're walking on eggshells. It's just a bad day. That should be a red flag. The minute you go, did I? It's a red flag. When you get a question similar to, have you? Have you really? Are you sure? It should be a red flag. Your ears should be like elephant ears that picks up everything that says, this doesn't sound right. Chances are because it isn't right. The minute you start questioning yourself on the basis of what someone else has said, when you know what you've done or what you haven't done, as soon as you start questioning, my friend, you're in that process. And in order to escape it is to get out.
Correct.
Stand by what
Totally
you know.
agree.
Stand by what you know. You might find it helpful to say, I hear what you say, so and so, but let me go bounce this off someone that you don't know, like someone at your workplace, at your college, at your school, the next door neighbor, or people up the street that have got no identification with you whatsoever. A completely objective point of view rather than a subjective point of view. And chances are you will then be told the truth. And hopefully that will open your eyes to how effective and dangerous, ambivalent mentally, and this cognitive dissonance is on the basis of gaslighting.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Totally agree.
Personal experience just come your way. Between the two of us, 45 years or thereabouts of experience on how narcs work.
Mhm. Absolutely.
This is a dangerous game. But unless you know it, you always comply with the rules because you have to. And the reality of it is, it's not a game. You don't have to pitch up.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. So I would like to hear your story. I would like to hear your opinions. Do so in the comments box. YouTube admin, like, share, subscribe, bell, hit all. Tell everybody. This is important stuff. This will save your life one day.
Absolutely.
But for now, this is Mark and Lara from Kharischangeworks, and we will speak to you soon.